Welcome in, everybody. What's going on? Happy Thursday.
That's the first time I missed being ready. I feel like that new timer threw me off, man. I think it was counting for 25 minutes. It felt like
It was a little long, wasn't it?
I like it though. It was like you think with that 2 minutes I'd be ready, but I was less ready with the longer one. I don't know what happened.
There's some good test jokes in the comments. David, I saw you say this one, and I saw Rod backstage laugh at it. So, welcome in, everybody.
Ready for a test.
We as the title says, we're going to do a little bit of a coaching open house. So go back, screen share kind of what coaching looks like, give you a feel for what it would be like being in rep coaching. But before we do that, as usual, share wins that happened in your business this week, something good that happened. It's that time of year. October's a busy month for a lot of real estate photographers, so I'm sure we have some wins in here. So drop them in the chat. Even if you don't have to have like the most, it doesn't have to be like your first 10K month. It doesn't have to be a huge win, right? Your first 50K month. It can be, good thing to happen with a client. Just share something in the chat. I think it
could be something you implement. I know I wasn't on last week, but I watched the replay. But it could be something you implemented from anything Eli went over last week with Instagram and critiquing different Instagrams. So
we got a test run to see if he watched the replay. I believe it. I actually believe that if anybody watched the replay, it was Rod.
I gotta see what the good word is. Come on now.
It's important. Nathan, good to see you.
Begin?
Dave, good to see you. Picked up 2 clients. Nice.
Okay. Oh, that's good. Yeah. There you go.
What did you do to get them? Just referrals, or how'd they come in? Oof. Had my 5th shoot yesterday. Have 2 more scheduled for next week. Hunter, nice. Congrats. 16 houses last week, $6,000 week with a $2,000 day. That is nice. Those $2,000 days, they feel a little different.
I was texting. That's David Estrella. I was texting him too as well. He was telling me about a Taco Bell that's got a wedding chapel in it, and like club music, serves alcohol right near Planet Hollywood in Vegas. So I told him I was going to get a selfie in there when I'm in there. So what's up, David?
I don't know. That's almost a Justin Cyrus level memory story.
I'm trying my best to channel my inner Justin Cyrus. So
Rashad said, did my first ever cold call. The agent said, I'm happy you called. That's how you do it. Do you sell floor plans with pictures? Rashad, nice. That's nice when you get one of those that's just receptive. I mean, I do think like on the outbound call, cold call, whatever you want to call it thing, like the nice thing about working with real estate agents is people have a lot of bad things to say about real estate agents. I never see much of that. I've worked with, we have 1,000+ real estate agents we worked with at Norman Young. You always have some people that are difficult, but for the most part, I mean, they understand what we're doing when we're trying to build our business more than a lot of people, because they're had to do the same thing or currently doing the same thing, right? I mean, the advice that a new real estate agent gets is similar to the advice that a person gets starting a business in general. You got to reach out, you got to knock doors. Real estate agents literally door knock. So you think cold calling is bad. A lot of people are scared to do that. Like real estate agents went and knocked on doors, a lot of them. And so they understand what you're doing. And I think that's why we get a lot better reception calling agents than you would just cold calling random people, because they're like, oh, I appreciate the hustle a lot of the time.
That's a really awesome first call, though. Come on.
Yeah.
I'm happy you called.
Yeah, it's a good motivation to keep going,
It happens like that every time, by the way, everybody. So
Ian said starting coaching in March after I graduate college. I'm so excited to join the rep community. Ian, looking forward to having you. Camilla did her first branding video for a brokerage. How'd it go, Camilla? What'd you do? Like shoot a couple locations and then some talking head stuff, or what was involved?
Camilla posted in our Facebook group too. She had a $6,000 second month.
It's crazy.
I don't know if anyone knows the story of Camilla. She worked directly with one of our students, Tyler, as the photographer, doing the media for Tyler, and moved and jumped into real estate media, helps us on the marketing side. So y'all will see her out there in content and things like that. You'll see her. Once you see her, you'll see her a lot out there actually on content. We got a lot of content out there, but jumped into the business doing content with us and just like crushing it back there with she's back there in coaching too. So it's just really cool to see what you're doing and then the content you're creating, and it's really helpful. So shout out Camilla, shout out to Camilla. So
Rod, it looks like you won't have to go far to go to your Taco Bell.
I know that's what he was saying. It's like attached. So come on, man. I'm going to go there breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Thank you, David.
Speaking of Vegas, who is going to Rep 2025 in November? We're less than a month out. Actually, we're a month out from it being over already. So November 7th and 8th in Las Vegas. Who's going to be there? Just curious. This is going to be an insane conference. Last year, it was great. It was 250 people or something. This year, it's going to be, by the time all said and done, over 400 real estate media business owners going. So it's going to be, I'm super excited. It's the best 2 days of the year for sure. Oh, what's up, Matt? Good to see you in here. Bailey, I hope you will be there. Otherwise, it's not going to go very well. So I appreciate you saying that. Bailey is the event planner who on our team does an amazing job. Changed last year was the first year we started working together, and the conference before she worked with us was terrible. And then last year was so good. So we're excited for this year. It's going to be great. Alvin said 2 to 3K days would be the goal. Just hit 2 1.3K days in a row. Alvin, let's go. That's awesome. You start stacking 1.3K days, and that leads to a busy month pretty quickly. Tony, you're trying to sell your business. Tell me a little bit more about that. I mean, I know it's a public channel. You may not want to, but how much revenue you doing? What are you looking to do? Happy to give you some input. Let's see. Dave, I'm glad you think so. They're great. It's good to have here's the thing.
She gets a lot of shoots too, so it's like always something new. It's like really fun to watch. It is like
I've shot so many houses that I just don't want to shoot another house. And so I will go make a tutorial when I have to, but then I have to either go to a house that Norman and Young's shooting, and I'm often not in the area where Norman and Young actually works, or I have to go rent an Airbnb to shoot a house. So it's nice to have Camilla helping us with those type of videos because she's actually doing this every day still. I mean, I own Norman and Young and I scaled the business and I was a solo operator for a while. I did thousands and thousands of shoots personally, but it's just, it's good to have someone that can bring a different perspective that's doing those shoots daily. And yeah, they're great videos. If you haven't seen them yet, there's a lot more tutorial style videos here on YouTube. Let's see.
Oh yeah, here.
Yeah, exactly where we are. Ron said I will start coaching in November. We're looking forward to working with you, Ron. Caleb said hitting 1K days pretty consistently. Time to hire my first photographer. Caleb, you're yeah, fair enough.
If it's every business day, even still 22K, yeah, you're getting there. A hire.
Well, I'd say he's past there. He's ready to hire.
Yeah, are you stressed? Or are you feeling good, Caleb? Let me know.
Both. Those can both exist at the same time.
Very cool, Joe.
I was talking to a guy who we worked with in coaching a while back, but he had an interesting take. I just want to share. He, awesome guy, built a great business. He does 30K a month solo. I was talking to him this morning actually, and that was another point I wanted to bring up at some point on this live, and we'll dive into the coaching stuff here in a minute. But the nice thing about owning a business, and really it's not even real estate media or not. I mean, it's more applicable to what I'm about to say, but like you get to choose what you want. And so we talk a lot about, you go solo, you're a solo operator at the start, you start on the side of your job, you quit your job, you go full-time solo, and then you grow your business, then you scale, but like not everybody wants to scale. And so I think that is an important thing to keep in mind is you really have two paths. Like you can go make 20, 30 grand a month doing this as a solo operator. You're going to work a lot, but it's good money, right? Or you can scale your business. And so I'm all for scaling. I love it. I think scaling is in my DNA for sure. But I think that's something that everybody sitting here, maybe that's newer and you're like, I don't know if I want to like build a business, right? And hire team members. And you can always change your mind is the nice part, but like you also can just run an awesome business without having to hire anybody. Tony said 19.8K last month, 19 new clients. That's a lot. Didn't intend on getting this big. I just kind of found myself here. The business doesn't bring me happiness. Interesting. Not sure if I have enough margin to hire. Yeah, Tony, are you just saying like it doesn't bring you happiness in the sense you're just too busy, or like what are your thoughts around hiring? Happy to give you some insight, but I know it may feel busy. Congrats on that 20K a month though. All right. Well, let's dive into coaching a little bit. So I want to do the goal with this is we do these occasionally. We do a lot of Q&As on here, and we'll do some Q&A after, but we talk a lot about coaching, and that's obviously what we spend our days doing. We do these Q&As once a week or so. The rest of the time is spent with our coaching clients and building coaching. And so we want to do like an open house as a traditional school would a little bit, show you a little bit more about like what coaching could look like for you. We have different programs, talk through a little bit of those and actually screen share and go through what Circle, which is our coaching portal, looks like. We'll talk about the Instagram DM generator and some other cool stuff. Where do you think we should start, Rod? Do you want to give like an overview of kind of the big picture stuff that's in coaching and maybe I should dive into it? Or do you think we should go one item at a time? Or we didn't plan this out and have some monstrous pitch. I just wanted to kind of open the curtains up and show you guys what things look like. So, well, first of all,
I was about to say literally those exact words.
And Tony, I will get to your questions in a second. I got some thoughts for you too, just for how you can kind of scale into this being a little bit easier of a business to run. But Daniel said I started coaching in November and have scaled to 25K months. It's worth it. Congrats. That's amazing. I'm excited to see you. You are going to Vegas, right? I'm 99.9%.
And he's on the list to get on this Q&A one of these Thursdays too.
That's why we just talked about Daniel. I was like, why is he so fresh on my mind?
Like, why did I talk about him yesterday?
Yes, sir.
We just randomly talked about you, Danny. That's what I'm sorry.
We got your application or your submission to be on the Q&A, and I would love to have you on, sir. So I'm gonna
Sir Isaac's in here too.
That's always
good. Yeah, Danny, we gotta get you on this for sure.
All right.
Yeah, let's just go. I mean, I look at coaching, it's 4 parts of coaching. I can explain those like in a sentence. The first part is you get access to courses. You get access to our Facebook group. You get access to AI Eli. Second thing, you get access to a checklist where it's just every waking detail of everything, what to do in order, how to do it, what to do, all of that. Then you get access to a one-on-one coach between messaging and one-on-one Zoom calls with the coach. Then you get access to group sessions, right? There's 10 to 15 per week that you can attend, watch the replays of, be on all of them, be on one of them. But group sessions throughout the week too as well that you can attend. So it's a combination of 24/7 support with AI Eli, the Facebook group.
We're gonna demo AI Eli too.
Right, your coach, you have the accountability. You have exact actions to take. Your coach knows your numbers. They know where your business needs to get help on. You have the community side, the group coaching. So you're just surrounded by support and actionable steps on exactly what to do every day. Most people, when they do a business, they're figuring it out over time. And you are either a psychic or you learn what not to do over time. So coaching is just everything on what to do and then the support around it to do it consistently. That's my 1-minute elevator pitch of it. So
that was good.
Thank you. I rehearsed that in front of the mirror this morning. So thank you.
That's also good. You got to prep a little bit. So this is our Circle portal. And so I'm going to go through a little bit of this. This is like the hub for coaching. So once you're inside coaching, you get an account here. As you can see, I'm in a student demo account. So I don't know, where should we start on the checklist, Rod?
Yeah. First thing that someone starts to really work on is the pre-launch checklist. Yeah. They get booked in with. So first of all, when someone moves forward, there's 2 things that happen. You get booked into onboarding with Allie or Aaron on the team, who goes over the different tools, starts to give you an idea of where to start first and gives you advice on how to crush it, because they know the algorithm at this point. And then at the same time, when you get booked into onboarding, you get immediate access into your account where you start in the pre-launch checklist or the pre-checklist, depending on which coaching program you're in.
Yeah, and we'll just talk about launch first. We'll kind of go through them as a hybrid, but how our model works is we have launch coaching, which is our program for people just entering this business. So we cover everything from the most basic stuff to helping you scale to $5,000 plus per month in revenue. And so that's what launch is as a whole. Now, that doesn't mean if you're already doing $1,000 a month, launch isn't right for you. The cool thing about how we do coaching and why we like coaching versus just a course is we scale with you. So, if you start in launch and you're already doing a little bit and you know the stuff for the first week already, you just get to mark that done and move further in. And we support you as far as you go working with us. So it's not like we go, oh, sorry, we can't teach you that. You're not at the forward level. You're only in launch. It's not how we work at all. This is just our way of pairing you with a program and a checklist that's going to result in the quickest growth and help you achieve your goals in that sense. So we'll kind of bounce between what you get in launch and forward. So launch is for people just starting forward. It's for people that are building that foundation and then scaling. And so whether you're currently doing 2, 3, 4, 5K a month, and you want to keep growing to the point of becoming ready to hire a team, or you're already doing between 10 and 25 and it's all about team building, or you're just scaling that team from 25 to 50K, that's what forward is for. And then lastly, we have Orbit, which is only for people who are doing over $50,000 a month in revenue in their real estate media business right now. So here's just a little overview of what the checklist looks like. I think before I dive into this, there's 2 things that are really important when you're building a business that will save you a lot of time. And I always tell people, you can totally build this business on your own. I mean, I built it on my own. It just took me 5 years to do what a lot of people are able to do in a few months. And so if you're not someone that has, unlimited patience and unlimited money to do a ton of trial and error and time, there's two things you need to know that can speed up the process. And that's where this checklist comes in. One, there's what you should do and in what order. And so that's literally what this checklist is. It's broken down week by week of the program.
I mean, there's a million things, not to get excited and interrupt you, but there's a million things that y'all could do in this business and a million different orders and combinations of orders. It is hard to just do it in the right order without figuring it out. So that's what this checklist is the what to do and then the how to do it. It doesn't leave you up to figuring out a thing. It's what to do and then the exact how to do it in exact order, step by step, click by click. So it's like, as long as someone follows it, they're golden. It's when people veer off from this or try to reinvent the wheel or try to go a separate order that they think might be a better order, but figuring out the hard way. It's like, as long as someone follows it, they are golden.
There's literally a video on here that says, don't reinvent the wheel. And kind of to your point, Rod, like the other thing I was going to say is, one, to speed it up, you need to know what to do and in what order. But the second thing is you also need to know what not to do. Like part of, I think for me, what cost me a lot of money and that took me a lot of time is I just went down so many wrong turns. And so what Rod was saying about this checklist is if you can just laser focus, put blinders on and do this is the roadmap to getting a real estate media company started. And the reason I can say that confidently is because we've literally had hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people go through this and we've refined it constantly. Sometimes there'll literally be things like, I'm forgetting the most recent one, but we just changed one checklist item from week 2 to week 5 because we found that there was some sticking points and it wasn't quite the right time. So we've really, our team, not just me sitting here, but our team of coaches, everybody that's involved in helping students go through coaching, Allie on our student success team, this is a living checklist to where it's gotten so refined. And I know obviously I'm biased. REPP is my business, but part of the
greatest on the planet. So, but we're biased. Yeah.
But that's not the biased statement. That's just the truth. But anyway, this is the core of what you do. And the cool thing about how this works is it's a mixture of videos that teach you things, action steps that you need to take, and then things you need to get reviewed by your coach or by, for example, we have someone on our team who specifically just reviews people's first shoots and gives them
out Bonetta.
Yeah.
We show that product critique channel while we're at it.
I will here in a second. I
got ahead of myself. Okay, I got it.
So that's the launch primary checklist. Forward works similarly, but we look at businesses that are scaling in terms of what's their bottleneck. So we use an acronym called COST, which is the 4 areas we believe that any real estate media business can be stuck or could be focused on to grow most. So it's clients, owners, systems, and team. And so we have the different things and checklist items and stuff broken into that. And you work with your coach to figure out which one to do in what order. That way it's super customized to your business. We have some achievement things in here that you unlock at different revenue levels. This demo account, I guess, is only doing $4,000 a month, so they haven't unlocked the rest of them yet. But that's what the checklist looks like. And so what you'll see is that some items in this checklist reference these specialized trainings, which is pretty cool. So it unlocks further trainings based upon different areas in your business. But I wanted to go over, where do you want me to go, Rod? Product critiques?
I got ahead of oh yeah, that's where he was referring to, that we have someone who's full-time on this, on our team, is to go through and critique and nicely critique and coach people through their different, whether it's photos, videos. So.
Like you said, nicely. We don't do angry critiquing in here.
Maybe sometimes.
It's all with love. We of course have our wins channel, which is, I think,
that's my daily dopamine hit right there in the morning. Yeah. And I inhale these wins every morning. It is glorious. Oh man.
I wanted to go over to the group calls. So these are broken down into the different levels. So launch and forward. I'll go to launch group calls here. You can see we have some. I think one of the things Rod mentioned, 24/7 support. It's what does that mean? It doesn't mean you can just call REPP at 2 a.m, but it means there's always something available to give you the insight you need. So there's multiple group calls happening every single day. There's your coach during business days and on your one-on-one calls, right? There's the Facebook group that literally is 24/7 that has a bunch of people that have been through it here. There's the community chats in here. There's the AI Eli, which I'll talk about in a second. And so I think part of helping people make this happen, and I want to say something about speed really quick before we go further. And I think it's important because, and I'm not saying the only way to get this is through coaching, but the reason we talk about speed being so important is not just because, I'm impatient, but it's not just because we're all impatient. It's because when people don't get results quickly enough, they quit. So speed is not just a factor of how soon you get where you want to go. It's whether you will get
You're
where
at a race against the quitting. You're in a race
yeah,
against
you are.
quit, basically.
I mean, it's just human
Yeah.
nature too. Like you, you're not going to keep doing something that's not giving you a payoff, whether it's the feeling of a win or a monetary payoff. Like it's just in life, right? And so I think about it a little bit like a plane. The analogy that I heard before that I like to think about it as is a plane going down the runway. It's like you could go down the runway slowly and carefully, but you're not taking off at the end, right? Like there's a certain amount of speed required. And I think that's how it is with doing anything, especially starting a business. Like it's a battle of willpower and motivation versus not wanting to do something. And so having that support and with these group calls, especially, like I'm just going to go through these. The next
How
one,
did I not know Warren still? I didn't know he was still did group. That's awesome.
he is.
That's
Every
great.
week.
I don't know why I didn't know that.
So there's too many. That's a good.
There's too many. I'm losing track. Okay, you're right. That's actually a good thing.
I'll just go through a couple of these in the order so you can see Warren starts tomorrow. His is the next one. Jared has one tomorrow as well. So Warren is someone we worked with from the start, built an incredible business, does over 50 grand a month, has a team, incredible guy. So he hosts a group call. Jared on our team. Jared ran Norman and Young. Jared actually started as a photographer at Norman and Young, worked his way up to running Norman and Young, and now works here on the rep side of things. Extremely knowledgeable with like systems, tech, operations, just a wealth of resources.
He's pretty good at everything, actually. It's kind of handy.
Spiro, we have a tech call. So Spiro is the business platform we recommend. So Todd and Jared host a call. So you can go direct to the founder of Spiro with any tech or setup things, which I think is pretty cool. Jeremy hosts our weeks 1 through 5 boot camp call. So this is a call specifically for those of you that are just getting started and just joining launch. Helps you get through the first weeks of launch, which we kind of consider the boot camp phase. This is when you're learning all the little things you need to know to like do real estate media, right? And more too. You're learning how to reach out to clients. You're learning photos, videos, 3D tours. So he's not only good at hosting the boot camp, he's an ultra marathon runner, or at least was in the past. So he'll get you through boot camp, if you know what I'm saying. I host a launch group call. Colleen, whose business does well over 100 grand a month, hosts one. Brad, who's there's a cool story with Brad. So he's a full-time coach on our team. But while he was working with us, he also built his own business on the side. He shot real estate a little bit way back in the day, and then now does 15 to 20 grand a month on the side while coaching for us full time.
Just for sport at this point. Like seriously though, Brad's awesome.
They just keep going. Tyler,
Colleen had her first year. She did $250,000 her first year. It's like these people are like these are people that yet you want to be coached by.
Yeah, I mean, listen, it's a group where I see the calls and I'm like, I should jump on that call. It sounds like a good time.
Tyler Redder.
Again, I think he's doing over 50 grand a month. I could be wrong on that.
He's 50 grand plus.
Yeah.
You got a team of 3+ photographers, couple VAs.
Yeah.
He's
an incredible group.
He's so nice
too. Going too. Like I'm only to Wednesday. We still got more, right? We have John who coaches for us full time, but before he started coaching for us, he built his real estate media company to over 500 grand a year. And he spends a few hours a week running the business, but he has a great team in place. He actually has a cool thing where he gets all of his photographers on his team BMW X1s as company cars. I don't know how he does it, but he does it and still makes profit.
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
he likes cars because he does car photography on the side for sport as well.
He does a lot of stuff on the side.
John's an international man of mystery, that old John.
David Schmidt hosts a call. So he has been our bookkeeper at Norman & Young and REPP for years. And so he actually comes and hosts a call all around finances and organization and that kind of stuff. We have Mr. Kevin.
He can legally talk about a lot of that stuff, right?
Yeah, he knows what he's doing. Unlike me. In that case, I'll tell you what I think, but I'll send you David's way. David also runs our partnered bookkeeping company called Abacus. So that's what David does. And then we have Kevin. So as you can see, I mean, just a ton of group. That was like a light introduction of Kevin.
Yeah, Kevin's like, what the hell? He's probably on here.
Kevin
Media Co is going to comment any second now.
He is. He's going to.
If you don't know who Kevin is, in a year and a half, he scaled to a $50,000 month, and that's in revenue.
Well, now he's over 100 now too.
Within a year, yeah. Now he's at like 100. Big old team, extraordinary with video. Really crushes it with video. So
that's a little bit of a flavor on the group calls. I feel like we could have gone the whole rest of the session on the group calls, but then we have, of course, all of our communities. So we have our general chat channel.
You can watch the recording of all of those too. Like, let's say y'all can't be on one, you can watch a recording of any particular ones. Let's say you just want to be a fly on the wall and listen. You can do that. Let's say you want to get in there and ask questions and be coached. You can, so it's, doing 1 or 2 a week is pretty healthy minimum, with those. You do as much as you want though. So,
of course, have our different community chats channels. Some of them are chat based where you can, hop on and see what's going on at any point. We have forums, we have tech help. And so that's a little bit of, what the community looks like, which I think is, I think it's equally important to have guiding help by someone who's, working with you, like your one-on-one coach will be, but just being supported by a community of people doing this is important because I think, not to get too mindset-y, but like if you don't think something's possible, you're not going to do it. And so when people talk about like manifesting, however you want to say what that means, my very practical take on it is you have to think about what you want because that's what starts you thinking, how can I get there? What is the path I'm going to take to get there? And a big part of that is knowing that an idea is possible or something is possible. So getting able to talk to people who are, doing the things you're doing, whether they're ahead of you and they've already been there, they're at your level. I think that's really important.
Yeah. And I think like also it's kind of cool because, when you tell people around you in life that you're starting a business in general or a real estate photography business, you might not always get this unanimous, like, great idea. It's almost like, what are you thinking? Go do it. But, it's like the same feeling when you go to a concert, and everyone around you likes the same artist and that like feeling of just you're around your tribe, as they would say, or when you go to a movie and everyone you're around, you go to a convention like Comic-Con or any of those, it's like you're around your people that understand you. And just to be submerged in a group like that, it's like if someone wants to learn baseball and you hang around a bunch of baseball players constantly that are supportive of you going pro and you're surrounded by pro baseball players all the time, it's just a matter of when, not if, you're going to go pro. When you submerge around that, just helps you develop the skills at a much faster rate. And all this is developing skills very quickly that are high profiting skills. So it's like people could get good at sales and marketing in their business, but it's developing the skills centered around sales and marketing that's going to bring in the money. When you submerge yourself around a lot of people, you're just going to jumpstart that skill development, and it gives you a competitive advantage. You're in a group of people that are talking about what's helping them crush it. You can apply that to your business, and it just keeps you having a competitive advantage consistently and never going stale. So, man, I guess I have a lot to say about that one, but yeah, there you go.
I mean, it's very true. I like what you said about, I've not heard you describe it that way, but I feel like it's very true. You're just around your people that understand it. And like you said, I mean, the people you tell you're starting a business are probably people you care about. So you tell your family, you tell your friends, and they don't accidentally put your idea down. It's an accident. It's not on purpose. What they're doing is trying to protect you. And like people have this idea because it can be that starting a business is risky. Like that's the number one thing you'll hear. And it's like, yeah, that's absolutely true. But I think risk is relative too, right? Like you have to compare risks. So if you're going to say, Eli, I'm going to open a restaurant and I've never cooked before, but I'll figure it out. I'm like, careful, because restaurants burn money faster than any business on planet Earth, right? And there's different types of businesses. Real estate media isn't so much a make it or fail business. It's just like how much you're going to do, right? Because like you can have a business that does a couple shoots a month. You can have a business that does a couple hundred shoots a month. And so a lot of time they're just trying to like protect you. And I think that's important, but just getting around people that are doing it is so important.
This is funny, actually, real quick, before I forget.
Please.
You would say that Kevin might be in here, but Darlene said that she was just on his coaching group call.
Oh,
I think she was saying so he couldn't have been in here. That's right. So there we go.
There's someone that over delivers. It's Kevin.
He probably went 2 hours over.
He is. He's going to give me grief for saying this probably, but he is one of those guys that just will over deliver for you. Like you need something, he'll get you something.
He'll do it to where it physically pains him. So
yeah, honestly,
be mindful of it, y'all. Don't push him too hard. It'll hurt him.
We got some cool stuff coming for events this coming year, but if you've been to one of the workshops Kevin's hosted or one of the rep ones where Kevin's
they're
there,
so good.
He's got that energy and he's tired, but he still brings it. It's incredible. Anyway,
his video workshop are incredible.
They're good.
They really are good.
There's last thing I want to talk about in here, and then we'll go over look at the DM generator. This little bubble up here, this is a demo account, so I can't click it, as you can see. But that's your portal to talking to your one-on-one coach. And so I'll pull up a different one and go to AI Eli in a second, because that's also where AI Eli is. But
we keep it in the dungeon in there.
Yeah, it's locked away. You can't let it out. It's too dangerous. It's gonna take over.
That's
So
true. It
one
could.
thing I missed out on genuinely, I've said this, many times before, but I think there's this saying, which is a lot of entrepreneurs build businesses to solve problems they once had. And especially when we were first building rep and first building coaching, a lot of it was centered around like, what would Eli have needed when he was first starting? And because that was the only reference point I have. And now we've worked with a lot of people, so I know, like, more so not just from my perspective what they need, but it all kind of aligns. It's like the biggest thing I didn't have is someone that could just be like, bumper rails on me and kind of like push me in the right direction. When I'm feeling discouraged, tell me that that's normal and here's what to do. And when I'm, riding a high, be like, don't do this stupid decision. Don't hire this person yet. Like,
Mm.
have someone to be there in your corner. And so while there's nothing for me to show you about your coach, because they're not software, they're real humans that are, they work for us and they're experienced at helping. I say they work for us, they work for you when you're in coaching, and they're good at helping you manage not only the technicals of real estate media and the things you need to know and the scenarios, the countless scenarios you're going to run into building your business, but they also know the things you're going to go through. And I don't want to say it too fluffy in a way where I'm like, oh, you're going to go through all this mental stuff, but it's like work building a business. It can be challenging at times, right? So they're there to celebrate with you and hold you accountable. And, if you've worked with a coach on our team, I know you shouted out Coach Christie above Lisa, but like, if you've worked with anybody on the team, talk about, what your coach has helped you with and like where they come in, because I don't think there's anything more powerful than having a coach when you're trying to do anything, right? Like, as many of you have seen, if you followed my Instagram, last 7-8 months, I got serious about, my health, and I'm down 40 pounds. The first thing I did that changed it is I hired a personal trainer, a coach, right? And like, I tried on my own before that. I didn't get any results because I didn't realize some of the things I was doing wrong. Like, it's like basic stuff, but you just don't know it till you know it, right? Like, turns out diet is way more important probably than exercise. Both are important. Like, I was trying to do all the exercise, but I'm like still sitting here 40 pounds heavier at the time. And so I think it's the same thing in business or anything you're doing. Like, if I could go back to one change I would make, because something like this didn't exist when I was starting, but I would just hire a coach. I would find somebody that had done this before or built a business if I couldn't find somebody who'd done this specifically. And so I think, if you could only have one thing we offer in coaching, it would be to have the coach, because they're the ones that are going to guide you. And I'm just grateful for all of them and the value they bring to our team. And
They are so great, man. Like we have every Friday we all meet, like all of us here meet, and the coaches always have wins and their hands are always going up talking about their students, and you could just see in their eyes they really care, and it's just very meaningful to them. And then a lot of times it'll be stuff like Karen will bring up stuff where it's like they weren't doing nothing. Then I had that conversation with them and now their buds do it. It was just like, it's like they're able to get those people that aren't like maybe like really digging in and then like having those conversations and like just really getting them to do it. Not like yelling at them, but like really asking the right questions, getting them to be inspired to do it, and then getting the momentum. And that's their win sometimes, is being able to kind of break the shell of somebody, so that's what they really love. And at this point they create 6-figure earners for fun at this point. I think they all have. So they're also good at getting you results too. So it's very cool.
What we always say about coaching is there's 3 things you have to be, and if you are willing to be these 3 things and do these 3 things, like you're the kind of people we can really help. You have to be coachable, and so if you know exactly how to do this already and you're not willing to listen to our side of things, that's awesome. But like, what's the point? Like, we can't help you with that. So you have to be coachable and willing to. A lot of times, the value in coaching is that it is different advice or a different perspective than you would have had. So it helps you do something you wouldn't have normally done. And by the nature of that, it feels different, right? You're like, oh, I wouldn't have done that. It's like, that is the value of coaching. And so you have to be coachable and willing to listen to that advice that doesn't necessarily seem like how you would have approached it, right?
That's it, because it's not always like someone's maliciously like, I'm going to buy coaching and I'm not going to listen to my coach Dave, So it's like it's an accidental, just thinking it's doing it differently when we think we should do it a certain way, and just kind of leaning in on that too much when we should just fully trust the changes. And even if they don't feel right or like we should do it a different way, we tried it and it didn't work that way.
Well, I have a perfect example of that.
It's leaning in on the trust almost to just really not get a wild hair and try to reinvent the wheel accidentally. It's how it kind of happens.
It's always well-intentioned too. Like, so with the Instagram method, for example,
exactly.
the top level view of the process, you reach out to agents, offer them a free first shoot. So sometimes we'll have people say, hey, that's a pretty good strategy, it's working, but you know what? If I'm going to do a free shoot, I might as well do a free shoot for a top producing agent. So I'm only going to reach out to top producing agents. And that makes sense, right? You're like, if I'm going to do free, might as well be for a top performing one. But then what they don't realize is the top performing agents aren't likely to take you up on the free shoot as much as the newer agents. And so they kill their results. And it's like, what we know is that those newer agents are your road into top performing agents. You crush it, do a good job for those new agents. They're trying to talk to the new agents want to talk to the top performers anyway. So they're referring you to try to be helpful. The new agents or the top performers are watching the newcomers to make sure they don't lose, listings to the competition. Like, there's just a process here, but on the surface, it's like, of course that makes sense. Just go for the top producers, but it doesn't work. And that's the
good example.
The example of the value.
There's thousands of stuff, like literally thousands of scenarios like that too. That if you don't do it all right, you're figuring it out wrong over time, and it can be tough. So like, that's a good way to look at it.
All right, I'm gonna pull up.
I was like, where'd it go? I kind of went. I was like, I feel empty now.
Generator. All right, this thing's pretty cool. So
yeah, I don't think I've ever seen that thing in action. So I'm actually
I'm about
excited.
to show you, sir.
Show me.
Stop screen. Share screen. Listen, we're getting there one step at a time. All right. So if anybody's ever done the Instagram method before, you're going to like this. And this may look complicated. I'm going to delete Bob's name off here. There's a template. I was demonstrating it. Okay. So this is a CRM we build for you that does a couple things. Helps you keep track of your Instagram messages. We also have one for the outbound method too. So we believe in tracking everything because it makes the results so much better. And we can also like identify and diagnose, your coach can look with you. How many have you sent? What's the percentage response rate? And like really dial in on it. But one of the things that's annoying is when you do the Instagram method, you have to make a custom message for every agent. If you just copy and paste the same thing, you're going to get banned on Instagram. So how this works is pretty cool. And when you first get in, we help you set this up so it's customized to your area. It's going to have some boilerplate stuff in here, but I'm going to put an agent's name. I'll put Sue. So you put the client's name in here. And this also helps you track like when you need to follow up with them, that kind of stuff. I'll show you that in a second. But it's going to automatically make a DM here. So I'm going to copy this and show you what it looks like. So just by putting her name in here, it says, hey, Sue, I sent you a video just now, but we also want to include a message with the info in case that's easier. I was scrolling your Instagram, it came up. So it makes a custom DM every time, and it won't say your first name. That's because this is the template. When we onboard you, we set it up so it says, my name is Rick or whatever your name is, and I'm in Tampa, right? But it makes a different variation of this every time. So you're not as likely to get like temporarily put in Instagram jail, which I think is really cool. Allows you to spice it up a little bit. But the really cool thing is, let's say you go down here. So you can mark if they followed you back, and it's going to tell you when the next thing you have to do is based upon this. So we have follow day engagement. So we followed them the day. Then we're going to engage with their post, and then we're going to check that. Okay. Then we're going to engage the next day, and it's going to help us keep track of this. It's not updating right this second. I don't know why it's lagging. But anyway, it changes. There it goes. So now it says, see how it says next action date, October 11th? It changes colors. So when you have 150 names in here, you just go back and this changes to red when it's due. Look, I'll manually do it.
That's actually, I didn't know they did that. That's pretty cool.
Changes to red. So like I'd go, oh shoot, what's my next?
We need this for our team here at REPP. What are we doing? That's so good.
Every time you do a step, it knows how many days is supposed to be between the current step and the next step. Don't worry about the details because this is, you go through an Instagram method training that like shows you the specific things. But you can see I just marked the date. So it moved it a day forward to today's date. And then I would do the next thing, and it's going to move it. When you follow up, it moves it 2 weeks, and then you can manually follow up and add another 2 weeks. And so it allows you to just keep working your leads, which I think is pretty cool. We have a product pricing board. I apologize. This one looks complicated. Again, we walk you through this. This is one of the things we do. It helps you figure out your pricing when you're just starting, your profit margins, everything like that. You have a reporting template you fill out. Tells us how your business is doing. Goals board. We have just a bunch of cool resources that we create that you get access to in our software. So that's a little bit of a Instagram DM stuff. The last one, I guess, is AI Eli. We can have a little fun with that, Rod. Unless
we'll do AI Eli, and then we'll get to questions in the chat with AI Eli. We'll just sit back, relax, and let AI Eli handle all. Wait a minute, I just realized that.
Let's see.
That's the strategy.
All right, so
there's some good questions in the comments too. We'll get to everybody too. We all a lot of good questions in the comments. We'll hit up too.
So this is a new thing we just launched, and I asked it some questions in the past, so it did it. So this is AI Eli. So what we did on that is we took.
Ooh, can you take off the like marquee at the bottom with the Lex Talk? How do we take? Because it's like hiding where you type.
How do we take that off? That's just Rod's ploy to suggest that you should go apply for coaching at REPP.
Yeah, I got a coaching plug there.
Hold on,
I guess it's permanent. It's a permanent plug. I don't know. Oh, there it is.
I think my mouse is like appearing on both screens. It's weird. Okay. So what we did with this is we took literally every single course video I've ever made. We took a bunch of written material I put together. We took a bunch, literally, I mean, the coaching calls that I've done, it doesn't take personal information, so it's not going to say anything, but it has all the context of how I answer in those coaching calls and all my YouTube videos. This is like, basically, it would be me 24/7, but with better memory than I have, because this thing answers better than me sometimes because it remembers things that my human brain doesn't. So ask a real estate media question in the chat, and I'm just going to put one in here, see how it answers. Just a cool way. I like it as instant answers and additional perspective. And the cool thing is, just like ChatGPT, the more context you give it, the more thoughtful it's going to be with its answer. But unlike ChatGPT, it's only using one person's perspective, which in this case, I think is a good advantage, because if you ask ChatGPT questions about real estate media, it like pulls the good advice and the bad advice. There's a lot of bad advice out on the internet about real estate media. So it kind of like hybridizes it together and gives you this sort of like advice. And so that's why we wanted to make this, because a lot of people use ChatGPT for quick answers, but I wanted to give them quick.
It can be dangerous because, like, if you know a topic and you ChatGPT something and you can tell when it's off, but if you ChatGPT something you don't know, you'll be like, wow, ChatGPT is brilliant. Everything is right.
We ask it Nate's question. I want to see what it says.
Dude, it's going to be like, oh, yeah, it's going to.
We are on a live stream and someone is asking if they should join REPP coaching and work with us. What are your thoughts? It's just like,
I mean, that's a little couple extra words than Nate had, but okay.
I did. But I don't want to ask myself if I should join coaching. That feels weird.
Oh, that's true. You had to give it some context. It is quite smart.
Watch it.
Although we keep it in a digital dungeon all day just so it doesn't take over the world. I am worried about it sometimes.
It's not very good at selling. It just tells you yes. I feel like it should give you, but it gives pretty good context.
I mean, it's pretty good. Expert guidance, comprehensive resources, community support, some big words I don't know, business growth. I mean, the answer is yes, Nathan.
Transforming your business, achieving your professional dreams. It's a little more inspirational than me too.
Like, all right, there's got to be some questions. Where are the questions in the chat? Let me see if I can find some.
Oh, this is a good one.
Earlier. Oh wow, yeah. Put in benefits ?
Oh,
yeah, benefits too. That stepped it up a notch with the benefits.
It did.
Whoever can break AI Eli wins.
Yeah, for real. Let's see. Define the role. Hiring a photographer. Several steps. Define the roles. So type of sheets will handle additional tasks like client communication. Create a job description. Post a job on relevant job boards. This is like very. I think this is. We can ask him more technical advice in a second. Evaluate portfolios. Here.
Yeah, like what would the tax side look like, and what are the benefits? Oh, the tax side might be interesting. We need an AI accountant, Eli.
That's the answer is this.
ChatGPT has it. It does beat Brian. It does.
The thing that I think is important too is like you got to use this like you use ChatGPT if you do it well. Give as much context as possible. Here's where my business is at. I'm doing this much revenue. I'm thinking about hiring this. One note I found is you can't voice memo in here, but you can voice memo in regular ChatGPT or in your phone and just copy and paste it. So this is a full on like AI tip more than like an AI Eli specific thing. Send long voice memos when you're doing anything in ChatGPT. Like just say, hey, here's what I'm thinking about. Ramble. It doesn't need to be punctuated or like, I think a lot of people know this, but like, I mean, Rod, you do this too. I know we send like 10, 15-minute voice memos sometimes. The more info you give it, the more it can use the benefit of AI, which it can pull a lot of patterns out and find you a good thing. So yeah, so it goes over the common structures. There's 3, which is per shoot, hourly, or salary. Those are the 3 common ones. Let's see how it handles it. Combine elements of the above structure, base salary, the per shoot bonus, provides balance. Ultimately depends on your business needs. That is one that like I would definitely talk with your coach about, because some people want to go salary route. Some people want to go hourly or per shoot. And that's something I've talked about in all those 3 ways. That's why it's pulling from all those. That makes sense. Let's see. Yeah, ChatGPT has its place for sure. I use it all the time.
Just to humor Dave, ask it this just to see what it says. It's gonna say I don't know. That's which is nice because it doesn't hallucinate and just make up stuff like ChatGPT does.
What does it say? What?
Unladen swallow? I don't know. It sounds like a bird to me. Unladen. I don't even know what that word. See, I'm learning a lot.
Dave's trying to distract us here, and he successfully did it.
He did. I don't know how he does it. He's good at it. All right, sorry, y'all.
It's very depending on the species.
It's Dave's fault. This is actually.
It knows. It's smarter than me. I didn't even know that was a Monty Python reference. Anyway.
Oh wow, that's actually crazy.
We got it. Yeah, Eli's smart.
There's some more questions.
Cool. Let's jump into the questions, I guess. Speaking of that, before we jump into those, if you have any specific questions on rep coaching, how it works, anything, let us know. The big one that I think someone will ask if it hasn't been asked already is how we price things. So I'll give you a little bit of insight into that. So we have different programs, first of all. So we have Launch, we have Forward, and we have Orbit. And those are priced differently, and each ones have different add-ons. So for example, and this is one thing we didn't get to talk about, but I think is really cool. With Forward, hiring is a big part of what people are working with us to do in that program, especially if they're at that point. So maybe hiring a VA, hiring a photographer, hiring an admin. So as part of Forward, you get recruiting chips working with us. And how many recruiting chips you get depends on how many people you need to hire. And that's what we have as part of that conversation when you apply for coaching and talk with our team if you're at the Forward level. So it's like, do you need one hire? Do you need five? And that fluctuates in the price a lot. We also have different term lengths. So the cool thing about how we do Launch is we have a guarantee associated with it. People in Forward, they already know this business works. They just want to take it to the next level. Launch is more like, is this business going to work for me? And so we put our money where our mouth is, and we have a guarantee associated with it that at minimum is that you'll hit a 5K month during your time working with us, which in the case of 5K would be 6 months. And if you don't hit that, but you did the things you have to do, and there's 3 things, you have to go through the checklist, and we'll give you more details on these on the call, because it's not like gotcha terms and conditions. We just need to say, hey, these are the things that make it so you're going to be successful.
One of them isn't like tame a dragon or something weird.
Yeah, not yet, at least. But it's basically you have to do the checklist, and there's a grace period if you fall behind. You have to do the reporting boards. You have to keep us up to date. What's the third one, Rod? I always forget the third one. Oh, you have to attend one group call or go to.
You have to attend coaching. Crazy that helps. Apparently,
Chairs at AI Eli is a good friend of mine.
Yeah, so there's term links, there's different there's just so many different things here. That's why it's just better to talk to somebody and
Well, the other thing too is like, Launch and Forward are very different in the cash flow of your business. We don't charge you based on how much we think you can pay. The price is the price for what you're getting. So it's not like we just go, oh, this person's, they just told us they have savings. We don't charge you arbitrarily more because of that. That's absolutely not the point of having you get on the call. The reason we have the call is we can fit you to the right program, because the price ranges a ton.
It's a big reason. Yeah.
The other thing is we can't say like, oh, you can pay for the program with the program, because that depends on you doing the work and being able to. But we're good at getting creative with how we structure payments and financing options we have available. Just like a bunch of resources, because the way we succeed as a business is not just saying, hey, if you can't pay for it up front, we can't work with you. That's a silly business model. And so we have ways to make it so it can work for broader group of people, because we know a lot of people want to start this business, but the reason you want to start the business is you can make more money. So that means you're not sitting on a bunch of money. So all that being said, that's kind of how we do that. Yeah.
Nice, Nate. Thank you.
Appreciate it.
All right, let's rapid fire some questions.
Hit me.
There's some good ones. We'll hit them fast. We got 8 minutes potentially. First one is from Adam. This will be an easy one for you.
How do you balance the consistency of working out and building a business? It's tough to find time. Yeah, I think to answer this like not too lengthy, I think I don't spend that much time working out. I mean, it's maybe like 30 minutes a day if you average it out, 30 minutes to an hour at most. And I think anybody can squeeze that in. You just have to be committed to doing it. And so just like in the business, that's been important to me, is like the first step of me getting successful in my business was committing to it, making it a priority. And so now I do that with my health stuff. I also think, just a side note, I was going to talk about this at the conference just a little bit, but like my business has gotten so much better as I focus on my health because you have time to think. You know, I go on a lot of runs now. You can go on walks. I started by walking, probably healthier to walk anyway. And like, man, it's just been so good for my business. So I think my business, I would just for the business benefit, I would never not be working out again if I was able to.
Yeah, you just gotta
force it.
You just gotta do it. You just gotta either set an alarm, start doing it, wake up a little earlier, challenge yourself to get it done by a certain minute in your morning, and just knock it out as early as you can. Get it done. All right, let's see who we got next. Sorry,
just had to pin this while you were waiting.
Yeah, no, good.
No pressure, but there's however many people are in here live just waiting on you.
This is a good one. What if the message goes unseen for weeks? Like the first initial message to an agent, when does following up start not being worth it? Great question.
Yeah, good question, Jared. I mean, at least 3, 4, 5, 6 follow-ups, somewhere in that range. I think you can also get fancier with the follow-up. So sometimes it's, you know, there's this process you follow, which is great. You want to keep following up, especially if you follow up lightly, you know, and you're commenting on posts still and engaging. They're going to hear about you and they're going to go DM you, see all the messages and be like, oh, I'd love to work with you, right? And so like, you know, minimum of 3, but I'd say 5 is probably the sweet spot. I'd also say like past that, if they come back up on your tracker and you're like, it's time to follow up, pick up the phone, you know, dial them. Hey, I sent you a bunch of messages on Instagram, but I know they were just going into requests probably. So I just figured finally I'd work up the courage and give you a call and just go into your call that way. You know, they're like, oh, they appreciate the cold call. So the answer is you never stop following up, but you could just change how you follow up. You could send them an email. I mean, I'd do a call first. A lot of people don't want to do the call because it scares them, but I think there is so much money to be made by just picking up the damn phone. Like it's unbelievable. And I missed out on so much of that first starting. What do you have next for me?
On that topic, I'm going to go down and then go back up again. But Ron, on that topic, has a good question. How many a day should we DM?
Yes, you got to start a little slower, Ron, and we'll help you warm up. I know you said you're about to jump into coaching, so we'll help you warm this up properly. You start with a few a day. It's great if you can hit 50 a week. That's kind of like the baseline we set for Instagram inside of coaching, and then we start adding additional methods of outreach onto that. So outbound method, brokerage presentations when you start getting around $5,000 a month, that kind of stuff. But yeah, to answer your question specifically, you want to ramp up to about 50.
Jay also said, I don't see the photographer hiring as a course in my Circle app. So maybe he saw something that we were sharing earlier and it wasn't viewable on his end. Sometimes things open sequentially when someone's at that point in the process, just so they're not inundated with so much stuff and they get lost in the sea of stuff they're not at yet. So that might have happened, JR, but
just ask your coach, JR.
Yeah, hit up your coach.
Yeah, and they'll be able to grant that to you.
We have the power. It was a Monty Python joke. Thank you, Dave. Darlene said, do you have Abacus's website?
Yeah, it is go. Here, I'll put it in the chat. It's Go Abacus, I think. Hold on.
I got you, Darlene.
Yeah,
Darlene, you're going to be in Vegas?
I think so. I think I heard that Darlene was going to be. Could be wrong. Yeah, Abacus is bookkeeping specifically for real estate photographers. Ethan, what's going on? When is the best time to send the first DM? Like after you follow them, after they follow you back? Yeah, so typically what we do is it's a couple-day process where you start with following them and engaging with them a little bit, and then you send the DM. So I think we do it in day 3 technically because the tracker helps you keep track of that. But yeah, it'd be after you follow them. If they follow you back, it's great, but you don't have to wait till they follow you back. Rod picked up his cup. He's very focused. Look at him. Extreme focus. Find another question. Rod's
Slack. I was distracted by Slack. Well, where's the website for Abacus? Abacus.
It's in here.
Darlene's like, cool. Where's the website? Goobacus. All right, here we go. Where's the next one? Oh wait, sorry.
By the way,
I'm so sorry. Here we go. KXD World Productions. What's your name, by the way, so we can say hi? But what is the best way to market your business and staying consistent on landing clients?
Yeah, so we talk a lot about the Instagram method. That's the primary driver of growth we recommend when you're first starting. And so that involves making an Instagram account. I have a bunch of videos on profile setup. If you go to my feed and you type in like profile critique on the live feed, you'll see where we've done some lives like this where I've actually gone through like how to set up an Instagram account for this purpose specifically. It's a lot different than others. Oh, Alex, nice to meet you. Anyway, as far as staying consistent goes, that's one of those things you got to force. You got to try to get those 50 messages a week. You don't want to just go send 50, though. You need to make sure you're getting at least a 10% yes rate. If you're getting less than 10 of, 10% of every message you send coming back to you over time, then if it's less than that, you're leaving a lot on the table. And, one thing you have to be careful of, this sounds like I'm saying it just so, I can make a point that it's good to get into coaching, which it obviously is, but like, be careful not to just, if it's untested, if you're doing this on your own, send smaller batches and make sure it's working before you send to everybody. Because, we get a good amount of people who they'll watch my videos and they have like a good understanding of it, but they just don't have that oversight, that person to help them in coaching. And so they'll send 1,000 messages and get very little responses. And it's like, man, now 1,000 first impressions are already set.
And it's even in like the replies too. It's not even just the first message, just when the agent replies and then they like kind of reply back some weirdness sometimes. Like it's even like your coach will help you. Okay, the agent said this. What do I say? Okay, say that. Oh, they said this. What do I say? And then it's like in the beginning, they're helping with like every letter of your responding to them. So it's like it's that back and forth could be hard. It could be like 20 back and forths that you've asked a question on per agent with the coach, and then eventually you get it, and then you just start to do that naturally, and then boom, you're locked in. So yeah, but that's number one Instagram method.
You can do outbound calls. If you're willing to get the phone, crushes. And start calling agents and offering them free first shoots. And biggest advice I can give with any outreach method is don't try to appear too professional or more experienced than you are. Like, your biggest asset you have when you're first starting is that you're first starting, and lean into that. We talked about Eric on here last week. Eric's an awesome guy. We got to work with in coaching, built a great business. And like, his goal was to quit working at Costco, and all of his clients knew that. He was like, I just need a few more clients to be able to quit Costco. And his clients were helping him get clients, and everybody in rep knew that. There's a bunch of stories like that of people just trying to quit something. Or if you already have a team and you're trying to get to your next photographer, like, hey, I hired this guy part-time. He's amazing. I really want to be able to, have him work for me part-time. I need a few more clients to make that happen. So I just wanted to make some calls, and I'd love to give you a free first shoot. Like, that kind of stuff you can lean into. So big picture advice here is lean into what's true about your actual position. Don't try to polish things up too much. And see you later, Zach. So on that note, thanks for being here today. I hope that showed you a little bit more about how coaching works. We'd love to talk with you, even if you don't think now is the right time. Get a hold of somebody on our team. Go to Rep Launch. I'll put the banner, the different fancy banner up here in a second. Get a hold of somebody on our team now, even if you're thinking about starting later. I'm the kind of person that'll push you, not just because I want you in coaching, because obviously I'm biased, but like, it's always better. They say the best day to start, the best day to start is yesterday. The second best day is today. I believe that so much with the business, but I understand there's timing. Maybe you're moving in 6 months, or you got something else. Get on with our team now. So go to replaunch.com. Actually, we'll do this one /let's talk. Both links get you the same place, but and when you have that call with them, at least what number you're budgeting for, what the program is going to look like specifically for you, and options. So as you kind of plan, you can think about that. Because I really see, I see it this way, which is figuring out how you're going to make rep coaching happen and when you're going to make happen is really the first step in starting your business, right? It's like, it's starting that planning. And even if you're like, hey, I want to save up for a little bit, at least And so I highly encourage you to talk with our team. We have, again, bias, right? But like, we are very careful with who we have on our team, because it takes a certain person to uphold what we believe, which is that our goal is not to get you on a call and push you and try to get you to do something you don't want to do. Our goal is to get you more information and help you have enough information to be able to get clarity on, whether working with us and coaching is right for you, whether starting a real estate media business, right? If you want to scale your business, whether you want our help with that. Like, our goal is just to get you more information and not be pushy. And so you'll find a lot of value in that call. So go to replaunch.com /let's talk and
it's
grab a time.
It's like going to get surgery and going there, and they're pressuring you into it, not giving you information about it, not letting you make a decision about it. And it's really like, no, it's a big decision on where you do something like that. It's very important that you get to be like well thought out with it, and someone that's patient with that and not pressuring you with an agenda, and that can make sure it is for you at the end of the day too, because we talk to a lot of people. Most of the time it's great fit. Sometimes it's not the right time at that time, and that's okay. And then we map out when it is. So I guess my advice is be upfront and honest with our team, with whoever you speak to on our team, whether it's Nico, whether it's Huda, whether it's Derek, whether it's Isaac, whether it's Nicole, whether it's Aaron, whether it's Megan, whether it's Justin, whether it's Andrew, whether it's myself, whether it's all the coaches, right? You like, just be upfront and honest with them and real with them. And if there's challenges, don't feel weird to bring that up. That's what we need to know. We need to know how we're going to navigate this so we can get a plan on how you're going to do coaching before you even get back there. And then we relay all those notes to Allie or Aaron in onboarding, and they get that, they package that up, and they make sure the coach is very clear on who you are and what your why is and what challenges we got right off the rip before you even meet them. It's pretty cool. So the more you guys are upfront and honest with us in those conversations, be as personal as you want, but the more we know, the more we can help. So if you haven't talked to us, use the Let's Talk for sure. If you guys have talked to our team already before, reach back out to them. Just be like, hey, Eli and Rod sent me. I want to get creative. I want to make it work. Like, what can we do? And they love those texts. They want to be able to help you get coaching. They believe in it too. They've been here years. They love it. They see what it does in the Wins channel every day. So be upfront, be honest with them. Tell them you want to get creative. If you haven't talked to us yet, use that link, and we won't buy the Let Stock link. Nate calls it the Let Stock link.
It is an unfortunate link. Thank you guys for being here today. It's fun to show you a little bit more of the back end, and look forward to working with you inside. To,
come on.
Yeah, great business, great. I love it. I love owning a real estate media business, and I think a lot of people here in the chat do that. I see a lot of familiar faces have been in coaching.
You haven't sold yours yet, so that's a good sign.
Yeah, it's still here.
That's proof. Come on.
Well, thanks everybody. Have a great rest of your day, and we will see you later. Go hit that link, replaunch.com// that's a way to say it, / Let's Talk, and we will see you later. Bye everyone.
Bye y'all.